Hi, I'm Diana Musacchio. I teach computer applications here at the School of Extended Learning. If you're viewing this, it's probably because you are getting evaluated this session. So how do we do this? Well, in part, by keeping in mind that any suggestion that your evaluator makes to you is in pursuit of enriching your student's experience, which in turn will make this program the best that it can be. We offer an incredible program with an amazing variety of free classes to our community. If all of us teachers are at our very best, then students are just gonna spread the word, and that's the best marketing we can have. Friends and family will come, our program will get stronger, and guess what? Our classes won't get canceled. I mean, isn't that what we all want? So let me explain the process. But first, the most important thing you need to know is that this is a peer-to-peer process. Evaluators are teachers, just like you and me. We want to make sure that everyone gets something out of it, so I'm gonna share with you what I get out of being an evaluator. For one, I got to attend an amazing variety of classes that are so fun. And geez, I want to take all of them now. But also, I got to see some incredible teaching that inspired me to do things in a different way that I would have never thought of. On top of that, sometimes I got a chance to share my way of doing things, which hopefully have supported other teachers in doing things a different way. It is a give and take process, and I have certainly enjoyed taking part in it. All of us evaluators agree that the best part of the whole process is that last hour when we get to meet with you guys, and we get to talk shop, we get to know each other, and we get to inspire each other and just have some fun being supportive and appreciating everything that everyone has to give. Now, I'm gonna explain a few steps of the process in a bit more detail. First of all, your evaluators can only communicate with you using the pipeline email address. They are not allowed to reach out to you with any other manner. So please keep an eye daily on your email to make sure that we get this process completed as soon as possible. If you need help figuring out how to use your pipeline account, please ask for help. We have the Faculty Resource Center available to us where they are willing to teach you anything you need. Please call them either at 805-965-0581 extension 2860 to set up an appointment for them to go over how to use Pipeline. Or you can also ask them for help by emailing them at frc-group@pipeline.sbcc.edu. Once you get that email from your evaluator, the main purpose is to set up a time for the observation. It has to be set up no later than 3 weeks before the end of the semester. Please respond with possible times and dates as soon as you can, because evaluators have 5 or 6 evaluations that they need to do on top of teaching their own classes, and they're gonna need some time to coordinate to make it all work out. It's best to choose a date that's not the first day of your class, unless this is a one-day workshop. That way you have had time to meet your students before the observation. The next thing that you need to send your evaluator is your syllabus. If you don't have one, your director can give you a template to get one created, and make sure to put in things like the DSPS disability statement. Check your email every session it gets sent out to everyone. Otherwise, probably your director can give it to you, or even your evaluator. Just make sure it's in your syllabus. Next, please send any materials that you provide your students to your evaluator. So if you have things on the web, or if you have handouts, or if you put things on Google shared drives, give access to your evaluator and things like that. If your class is on Zoom, please send us the link ahead of time. But also, if we're supposed to arrive during the middle of your class, keep an eye on your waiting room. Once I was held like half an hour in the waiting room waiting to be let into the class that I was supposed to be observing, so just keep an eye out. And if your class meets off campus, then please send us the address of where your class will meet that day. Now, how do you prepare for the day of the observation? If you want to prepare a class full of bells and whistles, go ahead and do that. But really, you don't need to go out of your way and do anything other than teach just a regular day. That's everything that we need. But I do have some ideas to share with you about what you should not do during the observation. For example, this is not a good day to invite a guest speaker. You're here to see you teaching, not your speaker. Please do not end your class early. Evaluators need to observe 50 minutes of your class. Also, don't give your students a break while the observer is in your class. And finally, please do not ask your students to spend their time singing your praises. They will have high chance to do that on the survey. While all of these seem like logical requests, I have been in exactly every one of these situations over the last few years of observations. How should you prepare your students for observation day? Well, just don't. We're just observing you, not them. Our intention is to slip into the classroom, stay in the background, and take some notes. It's your choice whether you want to announce us or not. Some instructors make a point of welcoming the observer and introducing them to the class. Other instructors prefer us to remain anonymous. In my experience, neither one is better or worse. It just depends also on the size of the class and the type of class. If you are in a small, very intimate kind of group, it would be weird to have someone just show up and no one to say anything about it. But if you have a multitudinous class where a lot is going on, then there's no need to introduce us. Just make your choice. But whatever your choice is, just let your observer know so that they know how to proceed the day they show up in your class. So what is the evaluator gonna be observing? They're probably gonna check how well you connect with and how well you respond to students' needs. They might check on how well your materials are organized. They will check on how relevant your class and your materials are to the outline and syllabus of the class. They might make notes on your teaching methods, approachability. They might check on whether there's active student participation, especially if you're online. They want to make sure that you are certainly engaging with your students, things like that. So now let's talk about the student surveys. A big part of the evaluations process is that your students need to fill out an anonymous survey, which is available in multiple languages. The survey can be filled out on a computer or on their phones, or if they have a tablet or an iPad. Now this is important, and it's a change from the past. You, the teacher, are the one who is in charge of making sure that all your students get access to the survey. Since the survey is online, they need to get a link from you. So where do you get the links? Well, in the same email where you got access to this video, you also got sent a Google folder link. Inside that folder, you have the link to the student surveys that is specific to you. It's unique to your own students. You also have a QR code. So how you give all of your students the link is completely up to you. If you choose to send them an email, the good news is that yes, you are officially allowed to email them to their personal email addresses. In the past, students have not responded to surveys because they got them on their pipeline addresses, but now you can send them to their personal email addresses. So that's one way. You could write the link on the board, but sometimes people have a hard time copying down a link correctly. So maybe the best idea, if you teach in person, for example, is to maybe print out a sheet with the link and or with the QR code. Some of you guys might not know how to use a QR code, so let me explain. This is a QR code. Go ahead and try it out right now. Pause this video just for a second and then point your phone camera to this QR code. Then look at your phone screen and click on the link that gets generated. That should take you to the video that students are going to see once they start the survey. I encourage you to show this video to your students ahead of time if you think they might be reticent about filling out the survey, because it explains to them that they can use their preferred languages and that it's anonymous, and it encourages them to go ahead and fill it out. If you're teaching on Zoom, the easiest way to give them the link would be to just copy and paste it onto the chat, where they can just touch the link and it'll also take them straight to the survey. And please note that all your students, not just the students from the class that's been observed, but all the students from all of your classes need to fill out the survey. And so finally, we get to talk about that final meeting with your evaluator. You're going to hear some feedback, you're going to read those responses to the surveys, and you're going to get to sign some paperwork. That's it. That's simple. It's going to happen after all the student surveys have been received, and it should last about 1 hour. And here's the good news, you're going to get paid for that 1 hour that you meet with your evaluator. Your final meeting with the evaluator can't be held until all your student surveys have been compiled. So the sooner you can get that going, the better. I hope this explanation has eased some of your concerns and given you an idea of what to expect and what you need to do. If you have any other questions, please reach out to your director or ask your evaluator. Basically, it's not as bad as it sounds. We're all in this together and we're going to get through it together. And hopefully, you'll want to help out by being an evaluator next time. Just let your director know that you're interested. Goodbye for now. I look forward to seeing you at school.